Hello, I am Chris Baker, and today I'm going to tell you how to discover your why in just 10 minutes. But before I do that, welcome to my Stand Up Leaders YouTube channel. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button, tick the little bell so that you get notified when the videos come out. If you like the content, like the video as well, because that helps us get it shared with even more people. And again, if you know anybody else that would be interested in the content, share the video. So, do you know why you do what you do? The truth is, most people don't, and that's okay because you've never actually been shown. Now, I have to say that I was 50 years old before I actually discovered this, but this was something that honestly, it changed my life. And what happened was that one week we got sent a video that we were asked to share in our team meetings. This was all about development for our cast and ourselves. And this video was Simon Sinek's Golden Circle. Now, if you haven't watched this video, it's available on YouTube. There's about a 24-minute version, which is the one that I highly recommend that you watch, but there are shorter versions as well with abridged detail. But this is something that honestly blew my mind because I'd been in business, leading sort of fairly big businesses for 30 plus years. Right. And I'd never thought about it this way. And what happens, this is really from a business perspective, but most companies, most organizations, they know what they do. They look at how we're going to do that, how we're going to deliver that, but they never actually truly understand why they do it. And the basis of this Start Your Why video, the Golden Circle, is to actually identify why you do what you do. And then how are you going to do that, deliver that? And then what you do is pretty obvious, right? So you flip everything on its head and you start with why. Now, Simon Sinek actually has two really good books. One is Start With Why and one is Find Your Why. So he explains all of the concepts behind this. And I was so engaged with this that I actually took the Find Your Why and started doing some sort of lunchtime sessions on that for DisneyCast to say, how do we find our why for our teams? How do we find our why for our division? And how do you find your own why? Now, you may be asking me, why is that important? Right? Another good why question. Well, here's the truth is your why is the foundation or should be the foundation of everything that you do. Why is that important? Well, again, because you make decisions every single day. It's said that we have around 5,000 thoughts come into our heads every day. That's an enormous amount of thoughts. We've now got lots of information at our fingertips through the internet. We get text messages, we've got social media, and we make decisions based on what we see and what we hear and those thoughts that are coming into our heads. If we don't understand our why, those decisions we make will have consequences that really we're responsible for. But if they're not the consequences we really want, we tend to do is blame other people, right? Or blame circumstances. But actually, it's our own decision making that has caused those. So once you understand your why, you could then start to use that as the barometer for your decision-making process. Right? It will help you to determine whether something is the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do. Now, quite often, the right thing to do is the harder decision to make. But if we don't understand our why, we're not going to do that. Right. From there, what you can do is then identify what is your passions, right? What do you enjoy doing? So when you stop and think about your current position at work, whether you work for somebody else, you work for yourself, what is that you do? What do you like about what you do? Why do you like that? Why does that give you fulfillment and excitement, right? Why is that meaningful to you? And then think about it as well and do the opposite. What is it about your job, your position that you don't like? And why don't you like that? Then the golden source, if you like, is to look and say, well, how can you avoid doing the things you don't like and do more of the things you do like? Because it's said that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. I don't technically believe that because you will work, you'll probably work harder, but because you enjoy it, because it's fulfilling you, because it's meaningful, it won't feel like work, right? It's pursuing your passion. So how are you going to do that? Well, one of the things, and again, I'm not going to unveil everything on here, it would take too long, but there's definitely ways if you want to dig into it, you can reach out to me. I do offer a very limited number of personal coaching. I'd be happy to walk you through this. But one of the processes that Simon Sinek talks about is looking back at things that have happened to you in your past, right? Look at things that have happened and things that have happened that made you happy. things that have happened that made you sad. And then you dig deep, right? You go that 5 to 7 levels of why. Why did that make you happy? What was it about it that made you happy? And why did that give you such of those feelings? And the same with the things that made you sad. Now, when you do this and you write it down and maybe you share it with somebody else who wasn't involved in those situations so they can be more objective and ask questions about it, it will help to uncover patterns between the two. And what will happen is you will be guided to come up with a why statement. Now, when I went through this 10 years ago, my why statement, and it's true right to this day, my why statement is to add value to other people so that they can become the best versions of themselves. So my contribution is to add value to other people, whatever that means. Right. And for them, the impact I want to have is so that they can become the best version of themselves. Again, whatever that is, whatever level that is. So you see, I can take this and apply it to everything I do in terms of teaching and development of myself, but of other people too. And honestly, over the last 10 years, this has led me to uncover what I wanted to do for a living, what I find meaningful, what I find purposeful. And that is designing and developing leadership development programs that I get to do that for a living at Disney, but then I get to share that with other organizations and other individuals that want to hire me. Now, I don't offer this willy-nilly to everybody because I can't help everybody. And also not everybody wants to be helped. But for a very limited number, I do offer that. And that makes me happy. And when I see people developing themselves and developing their careers, wow, that is amazing. That's why I wrote the 2 books that I do, 10 Steps to Freedom. And the other one is Promotion Made Simple that I released about a year ago. Didn't do it to make a lot of money. It doesn't make me a lot of money, but the few people that have bought it and it helped them, that fulfills me. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found some inspiration in that. If you did, once again, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. Check the bell button so you get notified when my videos come out. Like the video, leave a comment. I always answer any of the comments that I see on there. And lastly, share this video with somebody else. Your task this week is to start thinking about that. What is your why? What is your passion? All right. Next week, we're going to move on to another topic, and I won't tell you what it is, but if you subscribe and get notifications, you'll know when it comes out. And have a wonderful week. I'll see you real soon.